Typical areas that factoring companies find difficult. As we said, anything that's away from buy, sell, forget. These would include construction, as I was saying. One of the key things about construction is a thing called liquidated damages in the contract, where if the construction company ceased the trade halfway through a contract, the actual customer can actually invoke liquidated damages clauses in the contracts, which basically say, right, we're going to charge you $1,000 a day because you've held up the particular construction site. Professional services, accountants, for example. I have to say accountants in general terms probably have the worst looking accounts receivables in general terms. It's almost like the sort of the doctor heal thyself in some ways. But they're very difficult again to actually to finance because of the interim billing nature of the services they provide. Computer software can be difficult because it can often involve staged payments. Larger ticket manufacturing, for example, we looked at, during the mining boom at quite a number of sort of larger ticket manufacturers looking at conveyor belts for mining, and these projects were sort of $4 or $5 million, and they were staged payments along the way. Now, whilst some of these sectors are difficult, there are some independent factors that can support these sectors. So certainly if you've got any queries, by all means have a chat afterwards. Okay, these are the key things that the factors look for. Okay? Most important thing is the nature and age of your business. If you're a brand new start company, you're viewed with a lot more skepticism as compared to having been in business for 2 or 3 years. And the very nature of your business, the industry, and the nature of the product are very, very important, as we've looked at earlier on. Profitability. It is really important for confidential facilities. Confidential facilities mean that the factoring companies are not in touch with your customers. And what that means for the factoring company is they're one stage removed from confirming their security. So as a result, the thing that they're really worried about is fraud, to be absolutely honest. And there's a thing in the trade called a fresh air invoice, whereby you literally raise an invoice, there you are, factor that. And the issue is, it more often than not happens when a company's got financial distress. So that's why confidential facilities are not favoured for those companies not making money. Now, losses, with a sensible turnaround plan, if there's a good reason to support it, maybe a new management team coming in or some new equity coming in, then confidential facilities may be achievable, but it's very unlikely. They like to see a good spread of customers. It's like the old all your eggs in one basket. If you've got 90% of your business with Woolworths, they tend to be very, very cautious relating to that side. They like to see a spread of risk in general. The quality of the customers, that's going to become increasingly important as the recession comes through, because not all your customers are going to be blue chip. And a number of factoring companies can provide credit insurance relating to your actual customers, so they will assess the quality, because the better the quality, the more likely they're going to pay you, and ultimately pay the factoring company. This is very important at the moment, the aging of your receivables. If you've got a lot that's in the over 90-day column, before you apply for any factoring, best thing to do, if you've got the time, is get a professional in to clean it up. It's absolutely essential. The over 90 days column is a key area they're looking at the moment, because it means that there's an old expression in the game of credit control, that's an old debt is a cold debt. It either means the debt is owed by a customer that can't afford to pay you or won't pay you. This next one is something that a lot of people aren't aware about, but the level of credit notes that you actually raise is increasingly important. If you imagine the situation, you raise an invoice for $100,000, taking the extreme, $100,000, the factoring company gives you $80,000 against that, and then you credit $50,000 of that, then suddenly they've lent you $80,000 against an invoice that's only worth $50,000. What they will do, in general terms, they will look at the level of credit notes that you are producing, and they will double the level of credit notes that you're producing, because notionally, in a liquidation situation, the number of credit notes that actually appear usually are double in a liquidation scenario. So they will deduct from the notional value of 85 cents in the dollar any high levels of credit notes that they actually see. The next thing which is really important is the invoice process. If you've got proof of deliveries, which proves that the goods have arrived, a sign-off, which shows that a job's been completed, or a timesheet to confirm how long somebody's done something for. That is ideal. They really want to see good quality systems that prove that you have done the job. If you've got proof, what it means is the factoring company, in a doomsday scenario, will be able to prove it in a court of law. And the final thing is the quality of management. If you've got, if you were, let's say, a mortgage broker and suddenly gone into wholesale and distribution, the overall issue is, where's your experience in wholesale and distribution? If the management is good,